This is the Digital Asset Playbook, where we create our playbook, but we don't necessarily follow their rule book. Today is Saturday, July 23rd, 2022. If we take a look at the crypto market cap really quick, we're sitting at $1 trillion. Bitcoin sitting at the numbers one spot at 22,192. Ethereum at 1,521, and XRP sitting in the seventh spot at 35 cents. So we've had a very interesting week. The SEC had its oversight committee meeting, and look, I have three takeaways from that meeting. The first thing was this was an all-out war in versus the two parties, the Democrats versus the Republicans. You can clearly tell who was on which party, but they were attacking the SEC. So first things first, let's take a listen. This is Brad Sherman in his opening statements.
The division has determined that XRP is a security and is going after XRP, but for reasons that I'll bring up in questions, has not gone after the exchanges where tens of thousands of illegal securities transactions were occurring.
Okay, so right off the bat, that's Brad Sherman there, and he is letting be known in his opening statements what's on his agenda, what's on his mind. So that's quite funny. But going back to it, so right here, we have Representative Hazinga here. He goes on the attack. Look, this is a meeting of the SEC. It's an oversight committee that oversees and makes sure that the SEC doesn't step out of its boundaries. And this meeting hadn't taken place in a couple years. And so, they finally got together. The pandemic, or for whatever reasons, they weren't able to get together. And first things first, Gary, the chairman of the SEC, Gary Gensler, does not show up to this. Instead, he sends his director of enforcement to go handle this meeting, and this guy gets everything in the book thrown at him. But let's listen to Hazinga's opening comments, because I found them quite interesting.
Finally, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the one person who is not here this morning, the chair of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Chair Gensler. But I know he is paying attention. So, Chair Gensler, while I appreciate you allowing Director Graywall to come in before the subcommittee, I can't help but mention your absence and request your attendance. Finally, I would be remiss if I didn't mention
So, those are these are the opening statements of this committee. Look. What can we say here? This Gary is a very, very smart person. He knows that he was going to get questioned. He's taken a very forward stance on cryptocurrencies and everything else going on in the SEC, and he's taken a charge in some areas that maybe he shouldn't have, and he knew he was going to get hounded. So instead, he sends his director of enforcement there, and that guy does, like I said, the best he could. Basically, look, politicians, these meetings, they're the same worldwide. This is my little rant for the day, by the way. They all act the same way. They get asked a whole bunch of questions, and then they either deflect things, or they say, hey, it's not part of my jurisdiction, I can't answer that, or something's in litigation and I can't answer it. And politicians everywhere, they handle these meetings. If you ever watch a parliamentary meeting, and again, somebody's being hounded, somebody's on the attack, And whoever is being hounded, all they ever do, they don't answer the questions. It just blows my mind. So for that reason, these things, they bother me, because nothing ever gets solved. So yeah, again, the director of enforcement's there. He's pretty much deflecting everything through the meeting. He's saying that it's, he can't answer this because it's in litigation, or he can't answer that because it belongs to a different division of the SEC. So, look, these things, they're pretty much a waste of time in my opinion, but they have to go through them, and it's unfortunate because it's our tax dollars that are paying for these meetings to take place. But here we have Tom Emmer, and he goes on the attack. Take a listen to this.
Here's the problem. The SEC isn't interested in clarifying what areas of the crypto industry fall under SEC jurisdiction. We know that because FinHub, that you've referred to, the SEC division focused on crafting crypto regulation, has essentially dissolved under Gensler. Nonetheless, while abandoning good faith attempts and clarify how the Commission's existing authority applies to digital assets, the SEC is hell-bent on expanding the size of its crypto enforcement division and using enforcement to unconstitutionally expand its jurisdiction. Under Chair Gensler, the SEC has become a power-hungry regulator, politicizing enforcement, baiting companies to, quote, come in and talk to the Commission, then hitting them with enforcement actions and discouraging good faith cooperation. Understand, sir, there is a new day coming. Thank you. I yield back to you.
Wow, Tom Emmer. Does he ever give it to the SEC there? A new day is coming. That is amazing. So look, the SEC has been under attack lately for how they're handling things, and and I guess a positive aspect of this meeting is that you have someone like Tom Emmer, and I believe Warren Davidson was there as well, and they let them know that, hey, you know what, we're watching, and we're not gonna tolerate the way you're handling things. Brad Garlinghouse goes on to tweet this. Basically, Brad Sherman ends his comments to that meeting with, again, attacking XRP, stating that in his opinion it is a security and that the exchanges should be attacked. And so Brad tweets this right after the meeting. Representative Brad Sherman was magna cum laude at Harvard Law, which just means he was an honored student, very high ranking. He must know better, but is trying yet again to advance political agenda over sound policy and ignoring what the law actually says. Look, I'll have to agree with this. The SEC and Ripple right now are going through a court battle on determining whether or not XRP was sold as a security. So when you have a meeting, an oversight meeting, you can't state that, I guess he labeled it as his opinion, but you can't state that, something is a security when it's the federal government and the courts of law are going to determine whether XRP is a security right now. So Stuart Aldorati, he tweets right under Brad's comment. He says, "Can I get a fact check on aisle 2, please, Representative Sherman? The U.S. has not, in fact, no country has determined XRP to be a security. When elected officials don't understand that the mere filing of a case by the SEC doesn't determine anything, it's more than concerning." So again, the battle between Republicans and Democrats was very, very obvious at that meeting, and we know which side people are standing on. And it seems like Brad Sherman had other intentions by clearly stating that XRP, in his opinion, was a security. I mean, these are smart people. When they make comments like that, you wonder whether there's hidden agendas or whatnot. But anyways, from ProCoin News, XRP lawsuit. The SEC reviews is revealing the Hinman's emails to Ripple. According to a recent development in the XRP lawsuit, the SEC was required to produce the Hinman documents to the court, which was considered a major tactical win for Ripple. So the SEC has been doing everything they can to to not give up these emails. They are, adamant about not giving up these emails. It makes you wonder what's in the emails. Is somebody know something in those emails and it's revealed, and what's revealed in those emails can definitely hurt the SEC and their stance on this lawsuit. They are doing some very, very, they're making interesting moves along the way. Right here we got this thread from Jeremy Kaufman. Jeremy Kaufman is the CEO of Library. We're free. Judge was skeptical of many SEC claims. SEC was forced to admit that substantial usage of Library was non-speculative, ruling in 4 to 8 weeks. So they went all the way. Good for Jeremy. It's been a long battle, but they went all the way with the SEC, and we'll see what happens in 4 to 8 weeks. But shortly after, he was on video with John Deedon here, and listen what he has to say. I find very, very interesting.
So, but it was great to see that the judge asking these questions. Well, what if Library had never made a promotional statement, and 75% of the purchasers were buying it for consumptive use? Would it still be a security? Now, the SEC said yes. Now, that every person in the cryptocurrency industry should be terrified by that statement. And they also said it wouldn't matter if we weren't developing it. So in court, the SEC said, if we didn't develop the token, if the vast majority of the purchasing was for consumptive, non-speculative use, and the company never made a public statement, would a token sale still be a security? The answer is yes. Well, what does that mean? That means every sale of Ethereum is a security. That means every sale of every crypto asset, with the possible exception of Bitcoin, every other one. Okay?
So those are powerful statements. So look, with what Jeremy just said there, if this is the case, if the SEC is taking this stance, this is clearly not about what's a security. This is clearly about the SEC just wants control over this this space. That's how I take that statement, right? The SEC is at it again, shortly after. They look, 9 coins on Coinbase that the SEC believes are securities, right? This just happened right after that what Jeremy just said there. At least 9 digital assets listed on Coinbase are securities, according to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. The SEC alleges that AMP, Derivadex, DFX Finance, LCX, Chromatica, Power Ledger, Rally, Rary Governance Token, and XYO are all securities. Well, what's funny about the SEC implying that those are securities is that those are XRC20 tokens. And if those are securities, then that means that Ethereum is a security. You can't make this stuff up, people. And if Ethereum is a security, then Bill Hinman, who gave Ethereum with a free pass speech, gave Ethereum a free pass, is basically they're contradicting themselves. But look, the good news is hold on, because there is another police officer in town, and it's the CFTC. And CFTC director tells Congress that the agency is ready to take on more crypto oversight. So you know what? The SEC does not have full control of this space yet. It's to be determined who's going to take the reins over this space. But the CFTC says, hey, wait a minute. A lot of this space falls under our jurisdiction. So, the SEC is trying to take this space, and I think I understand why. It's going to be everybody knows digital assets are going to be the future, and there's going to be a lot of money movement and all that, and where there's money movement, there's profits, and the SEC wants those profits. Let's take a listen to this. This is from June Slater. Ursula von der Leyen rewriting the rules for the Great Reset. You don't get a choice in the EU. Listen to this.
And change is happening just as fast in other areas. So since the beginning of the pandemic, we saw an explosion in digital innovation and the use of tech. They enabled factories to stay open. They enabled companies to sell their products, people to access essential public services, you name it. We have to keep pace with this change, and that means that we will certainly have to write a new rule book for the digital economy and the digital society.
The rule book.
So covering everything from data to infrastructure, but also talking about security and democracy, technology to fair taxation. All these are topics on the table with digital change.
So did you hear what she said there? This, by the way, is from the World Economic Forum. They have to rewrite the rule book. Look, that's the basis of what this whole channel is all about. The next few years are going to be quite interesting. The U.S. is trying to figure out its regulations regarding digital assets. The World Economic Forum is doing their thing with this great reset. And, you know, together they're working all in sync with each other, in my opinion. But it's how we play their game right now. They want to write a rule book that basically puts the elites at the very, very top and then everybody else way below them. And we need to figure out what we need to do right now in order to protect ourselves. And in my opinion, this case, this Ripple case, is going to be, it's the biggest case in financial history. I mean, it's going to determine whether this asset is a security or a currency. And in my opinion, I believe it will fall under a currency when all is said and done, because I think Ripple's got a strong enough case against the SEC to clearly win this. And if that's the case, then we really need to ask ourselves, how can we protect ourselves? Okay? So, in the words of Jimmy Valley, who says this,
to those powers that be, they need to allow humanity to go forward in a positive manner in the way that humanity is demanding be done.
So Jimmy Valley says this, to the powers that be, look, we're on to them. We live in a day and age where we are catching everything. The SEC did not believe that the XRP community would probably figure out things the way they did. They probably thought that they were scot-free of everything, and which they're not. So look, in turn, here we are. We got a digital asset sitting at 35 cents. This is XRP sitting at 35 cents, which potentially could change the future. Look, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But at this price, once XRP falls under regulation, it is going to explode. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. But please, people, understand what's going on. Understand the power grab that is going on to regulate and control this space. If XRP wasn't important, would they be attacking it the way they have? Well, you figure that out. That's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed this. Please hit the like and subscribe if you want to have more videos, more notifications. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you think. And we'll talk to you all later.